Thank you, Joe. Thank you. And hello. Welcome, and thank you. Thanks for making your Monday morning, this December 11th, a part of my Monday morning here on the south coast of British Columbia. Hello, Mom. Hello, Simon. How are you? Welcome to the program. A great program this morning. As always, I like to think anyway. We're going to do the usual things. The last 24 brought to you by Nick. We'll get into having a look at my briefs, Toby's weather, the board of scores, Wayne the Great product plug, William's wacky soundbite of the night. Skinny on the scoop today. We're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about Crow Talk, Facebook post sharing, a bug's lunch, and the Site C Dam here in British Columbia. Big decision being made by the NDP government here today, about 11:30 from Victoria. And I'll tell you all about that story coming up here real quick. Just let me refresh my MattTv Facebook page, and we are off to the races. It's really foggy here on the south coast this morning. There is a fog advisory. But we are looking for sunshine for most of this week. It looks like we might get some rain Friday, Saturday, and then we're back into sunshine right through till Christmas. And it's nice that we'll have some clear skies because there is a meteor shower that's happening right now and goes through to the 23rd of this month. And we'll talk about that coming up here real quick as well. Okay, just let me scroll down so I can see the video. And I must tell people that I'm inside. Mom, you've been here. I'm inside my garage. It's not insulated, so you can probably see my breath this morning. It is quite chilly, but I do plan on doing 4 shows this week and 4 shows next week. Today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday of this week, and then Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday of next week. So I'll be doing a show. I think it is on. My last show will be the 22nd of December. 22nd of December. So I'm just going to scroll down. Went out and did some shopping yesterday. Decorated the set here a little bit. Got a snowman. Got a stocking. Got some garland up there. I think I'll probably get some lights here sometime this week. So it's all good. Excuse me. Woo. This morning just seems to be going by so fast. The morning is, I was up at 4 o'clock, but I can't believe it's already 5:30. So I hope that's a good indication on how this Monday is going to go. So let's get right into the last 24 brought to you by Nick. I was on here yesterday morning. I came in, did an 8 o'clock a.m. show here from White Rock. It was noon back in the Atlantic provinces. Had a great chat with Brent Underhill. Wayne Mason was in here. People sharing stories about the snow that they received. I was following Environment Canada on, I think it was Saturday night. And I was watching the radar. It seemed to be quite a large system that moved directly over New Brunswick. I think Nova Scotia got some rain there. So be safe. Winter has arrived. Winter has arrived. I did some groceries yesterday. Went to the dollar store, which is where I got these products here. And we went to Home Depot and we bought a Christmas tree. Mom, you've seen our Toyota Camry, sorry. The tree is so small that it was able to fit into the back seat of our car. So, really nice tree. It's a Christmas fir tree, like $20 at Home Depot. It's probably just under 6 feet, but it's a beautiful tree. We have a tiny little place here, so it fits perfectly. So tonight, we're going to have the in-laws over. My father-in-law, Robert Vespasiani, and his wife, Sheila, are going to come over and watch some Monday Night Football, put the lights on the tree, put up some decorations, and have some supper. So already looking forward to getting home tonight for supper time. Great game yesterday between the Seahawks. They seemed to really, the wheels on the bus came off there at the end of the game. It was getting kind of ugly, people getting kicked out of the game. We'll see if there's fines or suspensions, who knows, but not the path you like to see your Seahawks going down in a game that they needed to win. Still in the hunt for the playoffs, but they got to clean up their act a little bit. They're representing not just the Seahawks, but they're representing, their families and their friends and the organization and the city of Seattle. So a lot of craziness going on at the end of yesterday's Seahawks game in Carolina. No, sorry, they were in Jacksonville, playing in Jacksonville. So, but it'll be a good game tonight. New England is in Miami. My father-in-law, Mr. Vespasiani, is huge, and all his sons are all New England Patriot fans. So it'll be a good game tonight. Patriots are winners of their last 8. They're 10-2. And Miami's not nearly as good. So it should be a win theoretically on paper, it should be a win for the Patriots, but we shall see. We shall see. I had a friend come over. Susan came over yesterday, picked up her artificial tree that we were storing here in the garage. So I just put the question out there. Are you one of those friends who helps people by keeping some of their stuff in your garage for like maybe some of their seasonal stuff? I just want to scroll down. I see you wrote something, Mom. I just want to scroll down. Oh, wow. Yes, put some pictures up. You know, I was telling one of my coworkers the other day about our tradition of putting up the tree, where we got the tree. It sat in the living room for a day or so that it could fall out, which is what everyone does. And then no one was allowed in the room. It was almost gated off, so Dad could go in and spend half a day. You know it's going to be a long time when your father takes his lunch into the living room just to put lights on. If there were 500 light bulbs, I can guarantee you every one of those lights would be attached to a branch. It was quite a feat. So getting the tree in the house, watching it for a couple of days just kind of fall out, and then watching Dad have fun putting lights on, and then putting the thousands of ornaments and hanging the tinsel and spraying the snow. Yes, when snow came in a can. Those were the good old days. Those were the good old days. Yeah, but we had an artificial tree here for a while. But yeah, I was telling a friend the other day about our tradition of putting up the tree, and it always turned out, it was always like the perfect tree. So yes, put some pictures up. I'm looking forward to seeing that. This was really cool. This was so cool. Last night, I just made a quick walk to the corner store, which is like 4 or 5 blocks from here, and it was just before 6 o'clock. Actually, the time was 5:47. Pacific time last night, 5:47, and I'm walking along and I look up and I can see this bright light crossing the sky, and I immediately knew that it was the International Space Station. I know it when I see it now because I've seen it so many times. But just to make sure, I got my phone out and went to Google and just punched in ISS locator. A website came up. So now I'm looking at a satellite photo of the south coast, well, basically Vancouver Island, and it's showing you where the International Space Station is. So I'm looking at the space station up here and then looking at my phone, and when I lost sight of it, probably 60 seconds later as it was making its way east, when I finally lost sight of the International Space Station, when the light just disappeared, it was over the foothills of Alberta. It was just on the eastern side of the Rockies in the foothills of Alberta. So I thought to myself, I can see all the way to the foothills of Alberta. I have really good eyes. I have really, really good vision. So that was kind of cool. Find out where it is and check it out, because it's to know that there are humans circling the earth every 90 minutes is quite a trip to wrap your head around. And that was cool. Ended the night with some pizza and some chicken wings and some TV and just relaxing and getting ready for another work week. I'm really excited for nice weather, working with some good co-workers, and a staff party coming up on Friday afternoon. And that's a quick look at the last 24 brought to you by Nick. How was your last 24? How was your weekend? Feel free to leave comments whenever you so choose. 5:39 as the program rolls right along. I just want to quickly have a look at my briefs, and this comes from the cbc.ca. You can follow all these stories on the cbc.ca. Just get you caught up on what's going on right now. Excuse me. The Last Jedi. I think I have to wake up earlier and maybe spend what's a good cure for clearing your throat in the morning? Gargling with warm water and salt, or is that just for a sore throat? You gotta love live TV. You gotta love it. A lot of people excited about this. The Last Jedi is in theaters this week. The Geminids meteor shower, that's what I was talking about. The Geminids meteor shower this week. It peaks Wednesday and Thursday night of this week. So if you have clear skies in your area, something you might want to check out. They were talking about you could see 150 meteors in an hour. So really exciting. It goes right through the 23rd of this month. And I'll put a link up. To the story later today when I get the opportunity. But check that out. You can get all the details on the CBC.ca. Interesting story here. Ohio teen made $500,000 investing in cryptocurrency. I bet he has a lot of friends right now. California wildfires are still burning. 4 by-elections today across the country. Winnipeg has a beetle problem. Blue Jays being sold? Probably not. And Egypt found a new mummy. And that is a quick look at my briefs. You can find all those stories on the CBC.ca. Happy birthday to Debbie Dunphy, Ronald James Fusion, and Kevin Spragg having a birthday today. That's a quick look at the last 24, brought to you by Nick and my briefs. That's everything. Yes. Okay, let's move right into Toby's Edmundston weather, and this is weather exclusively for Toby LaFrance in the Edmundston area. It's chilly there. It's already minus 14 right now in the Edmundston area. It could get up to minus 10 today. And a chance of flurries. Really chilly tonight. If you're in the Edmundston area, do bundle up, dress in layers. Looking at a few clouds tonight and a low of minus 19. Snow tomorrow and periods of snow or rain for Wednesday. So not looking too good the next couple of days. Tuesday, Wednesday, a bit sketchy. Chance of flurries on Thursday, and the sun returns with a high of minus 10 for Friday. And that is a quick look at Toby's Edmundston weather. Board of scores. I was just talking about the Monday night football game. We have the New England Patriots are in Miami to play the Dolphins. Patriots are winners of their last 8. They're 10-2. That should be an easy game. Should be an easy game. I don't imagine at this point the Patriots are going to take the foot off the gas. Winners of 8 going into a team that is below 500. So we shall see. Monday Night Football tonight from Miami. NHL, quickly, some games on tap for tonight. Colorado in Pittsburgh, Dallas in New York, Washington Islanders, Florida, Detroit. Vancouver is in Winnipeg. That's a 8 o'clock Eastern start time. That's 5 o'clock here on the West Coast. Carolina is in Anaheim, and that is a quick look at the board of scores. Wayne the Great product plug as we roll right along here this morning. 4 degrees. 4 degrees in Newfoundland. Did you get any of that weather, Simon? Did you get any of that bad weather? This is Wayne the Great product plug. What? A lot of people are going to recognize the packaging, but this is a special type of product. So just leave some guesses up there. It's not the regular. It's everyone does. They try and make their product bigger and better, and that's an example of one of those things. So just throw your guesses up here. I'm just going to go back to my MattTv homepage. 4 degrees in Newfoundland. Okay. 18 degrees. When was the last time the temperature hit 18 degrees in Newfoundland in the fall? Wow, 20 degrees yesterday. Wow, that's awesome. Global warming. Okay, 17 minutes away from 6 o'clock. I still have my stories. I want to get into the skinny on the scoop. But first, I want to play a little Williams Wacky soundbite of the night. And these guys, you can never go wrong with this band here. This takes me back a little bit. We're going to talk Crow Talk, Facebook post sharing, a Bug's lunch, and Site C Dam decision in BC being made today at 11:30 from Victoria. John Horgan, leader of the NDP, will make a decision. It's going to be good or bad either way. It depends if you're looking forward to making this dam or if you don't want the dam to be built. Big decision happening at 11:30 this morning. Going to play a little bit of Slaughter, Reach for the Sky. Have a coffee, a few minutes of this, and I'll be back with the skinny on the scoop right here on MattTv on Facebook Live. I love doing this because it's so behind the scenes. It's not like when you come back from a commercial break watching a regular program, everyone's already in their seat and the makeup is already touched up. No makeup here. Not even hair products here. Come on now. Slaughter reached for the sky. Coming up on 12 minutes before 6 o'clock here on a starry moon is out. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous morning here on the South Coast. Had a chance to see Slaughter last fall. It was funny. He was just a small venue. And he's walking through the crowd, and he still had his signature long black hair. And there were guys that would go up and gently tug on his hair to see if it was real. It was quite strange. How is everyone doing this morning? How was your weekend? I didn't see any guesses for the product plug, but that's okay. I'll just tell you what it is, because I'm taking it with me today. And I know everything's backwards. But this is a Reese Big Cup. It's a king size. It's new. And it's filled with Reese's Pieces. So if you were to cut that open, you can see that right there, Reese's. That is the Wayne the Great product plug this morning. You might want to pack a couple of these if you're out shoveling this morning. Welcome to the program, Wayne. Nice tree, by the way. Excellent tree. We'll be putting the lights up and decorating our tree tonight. So, 'tis the season. We'll have a show tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and then 4 shows next week. So I plan on doing shows right up to Friday the 22nd. That'll be great. Yes, these are one of my faves here. I've never had one of these, actually. I'm going to have to cut this with a knife. I'll be cutting this with a knife and eating it with a knife and fork. It's a meal. Okay, Wayne, you might find this story interesting because you're out in the woods all the time, and you've probably seen, I know you've seen turkey vultures, and you've seen eagles, and probably hundreds of thousands of crows in all your time in the woods. But here's an interesting story, and I'm going to put this story up on my MattTv page at the end of the show. But there is researchers at the University of Washington, Bothell, which is just north of Seattle. They want to know what crows are saying. So they put a bunch of recording equipment and microphones on the roof of one of these buildings at this campus, and they were recording sounds. And I guess in this area north of Seattle, this time of year, there are upwards of 16,000 crows on this campus. Can you imagine? How would you get a good night's sleep there? How would you get a good night's sleep with 16,000 crows leaving the campus in the day and all coming back at night? Now, they were saying that the crows make different noises when they sense they are being recorded. So they're paranoid. So the crows, they've learned that already. Crows are paranoid. They got to watch what they say when humans are around, recording everything. I guess what they were doing is the people were up on the roof, like sticking microphones in the crows' general vicinity, and they were making all these different noises. And then they found when the humans left and they just set up microphones, the chatter was a bit different. They want to find out what these crows are saying. They say crows make different noises when they are maybe mobbing a predator, when they are flying, trying to recruit other crows into the murder and take them back to roost for the night. What are they saying when they're on the telephone lines? So that is what they're trying to figure out. But I remember years ago on the show Red Green said the reason you don't see any crows, roadkill alongside a highway or any road is because crows are always saying, car, car, car. That's why you never see crows on the side of the road, because they're always telling their friends, car, car. I know, that's an old joke. Credit that to the Red Green show. One of the quotes here from one of these researchers, it says, and I'm quoting, "They are incredibly charismatic, and they are right at our back door. Who wouldn't be fascinated by this other intelligent creature that kind of lives alongside humans?" So check it out. I'll put that story up there. But yeah, crow talk. We're trying to figure out what crows are saying. But I was thinking to myself, what if the government here put as much effort into listening to advocates for important matters as these researchers are putting into trying to figure out what crows are saying? I know crows are smart, but we know they're saying car. Maybe that's just, maybe the Americans are hearing caw, Canadians are hearing car, you know, with the R and the bar and the park. You know, we say it differently. Just like about and all that other stuff. Next story, Facebook sharing. Really cool story here. Just some of the highlights. And again, I'll put the link up to this story on my MattTv page. I'm just taking some of the more important details out of the story so I can share them, look at the camera, and so I'm not looking so much at my laptop here. But this is a really great story. And I just called it Facebook sharing. Facebook sharing. And just wondering, have you ever shared a post? Has someone ever put something on the internet and you're like, wow, that is so awesome, I have to share it? Well, here's one of those stories, and it happens daily. It happens hundreds of times every day. But back in 1986, there was an accident involving Donnie McNeil near Badek, Nova Scotia. And you may have already heard this story. Again, this comes from the cbc.ca. At this time, Michael and Kathy, I forgot to write down Michael's first name, but his wife, Kathy McNeil, who's no relation to Donnie, they're driving along this highway, notice this accident scene. They help this individual out, get him to the hospital, make sure he's okay, and they go their separate ways. 30 years pass, and this guy who was in the accident wants to know who these people are, who helped him, who saved him. So he put a Facebook post up. It was shared 5,500 times. And eventually he was put in touch with the people that rescued him back in 1986. It's just the power of technology and the power of love. Like 5,500 people wanted to help this guy out, wanted to make sure that this guy found the individuals that were responsible for saving him. That is so cool. Facebook sharing. Have you ever done it? Has someone ever shared something that you put up? Just let me know. Leave comments whenever you like. Leave comments whenever you like. I'm just trying to, what are you referring to with that comment there? But the trucks get them. Oh, you're talking about crows. Crows, and you know, another thing that crows don't survive, sky trains. You know, unfortunately, I see a lot of dead birds along the SkyTrain line. A lot of pigeons nest underneath the guideway. But I've lost count, and if you get grossed out easily, just cover your mouth. I've seen a lot of headless birds. I've seen too many headless birds to count. Unbelievable. They just get hit by trains. If a human was to get hit by a train, they wouldn't survive either. So it's not just birds. These trains out here are doing like 60, 70K. You just can't be in the general vicinity. This story here, I just called it a bug's lunch. A bug's lunch. Brother Mike, how are you? Bug's lunch, and this story comes from the cbc.ca. It's out of Montreal, and I just have to I'm just going to pull the story up here because I just pull it up to the end. Lots of protein. Now, we're talking about insects. We're talking about bugs. We're talking about things that crawl around that you wouldn't, until this point, maybe not even thought of eating. But insects, they have lots of protein, iron, and it's those two things that are making some bugs a healthy replacement for meat. Not for this guy. Not for this guy. I don't know. How do you spice up insects or bugs to the point where you're like, oh man, I hope you made enough for everyone because I'm going to have seconds. I don't think that's ever going to get to the point for me. There is not enough spice. There's not enough dressing that you can put on pan-fried beetles or pan-fried larvae or maggots or whatever else. I don't care how much protein is in there. I don't know. Here's my thought though. If it was presented in such a way, if these insects were presented in such a way, and maybe added to it something else. If someone told me, let's put it this way, if someone didn't tell me I was eating bugs and I ate bugs, maybe you wouldn't know. Maybe they're at that point where they can just, but I want to know what's in my food. Don't just don't just dice up some June bugs and throw them in my salad and, I'm going to think it's pecan nuts. Pecans. I don't know. I'll put that story up there. I don't know. Did that make any sense? The long story, that I'm trying to make shorter is eating bugs, eating insects. They have protein and iron, a healthy replacement for meat, maybe. But this story comes from Montreal, so you can check that story out. And quickly, as we wrap up here, there is a huge announcement today from the provincial government, the NDP government here in British Columbia. They are going to make a decision on a $8.8 billion dam project. It's the Site C dam project, which runs along the Peace River in Fort St. John, British Columbia. Now, they're going to make the announcement at 11:30 this morning from Victoria, British Columbia. This project is 60 years in the making. This was first proposed back in the 1950s. It could produce 4,600 gigawatt hours of electricity. That's enough electricity to power 400,000 homes. But it's sure to be a contentious decision either way. Allowing construction could force ranchers out of their homes. So this is what's going to happen today at 11:30. This decision is going to affect the following people. So if it goes through, allowing construction could force ranchers out of their homes and would likely prompt court challenges from First Nations. You know that's going to happen. Canceling the project would mean job losses and finding alternative energy sources to satisfy growing demand for electricity. That I'm okay with. Like, do I like the fact that some people are going to lose their jobs? They're not going to lose their job. They're just going to lose that project. They just won't be working on that dam. Their employer will put a bid in, or maybe he's got a backup plan. But the shining light in this is that it's going to force us to find alternative energy sources like wind, solar, there's just different options we have. There's just so many different things, but that'll be an interesting decision today. And I know that CKNW will be carrying it live. Wayne Mason has had all dressed grasshoppers. Really? Okay. Silent killer. You know what? Amtrak is a really silent train. I had a close encounter with an Amtrak train it was the last day of summer. I was shooting video. Actually, I was just getting ready to go down into this embankment or climb up this embankment, and I turned to my right, and the Amtrak train came around the bend, and it was probably 50 yards away from me and moving in quickly. That was kind of scary. But yeah, the silent killer for sure. All dressed grasshoppers. Chocolate. I'm going to say, Simon, you're eating insects that are covered in chocolate. And that is my final answer. 6 o'clock here in the dot. That morning went by so fast. Thanks for all the live views. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I really do. I just come in here sometimes and ramble on. And I watch the shows back and I'm like, okay, that made sense. But in the moment, it's sometimes it doesn't make sense to me. But I can guarantee you that everything is written down. And this will always be a place of fun. This will always just be a place to hang out. And like I said many, many times for the last 9 months, this is my outlet. So if at any time you want to call the show, if you want to be a guest on the show, you are more than welcome. Just let me know. And we'll go from there. I hope you like the MattTv set decorations. Got a snowman hanging here, some garland. I'll probably have some lights up within this week, but I don't know if you enjoy lights more when it's dark out. Yes, I don't know if I'd have lights in here, but one final thing: the Canadian flag. I don't know if I already mentioned this. Canadian flag should be arriving in Newfoundland this week. It'll be there for the Christmas holidays and be back here. It'll be back here in early January. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think, you know what? I think in the next program, tomorrow's show, I'm probably going to have a poinsettia right here. There'll be a poinsettia sitting right here tomorrow to make it a little more festive. So I hope you're having fun. I hope you're having a fun holiday season. I don't know if you're going to have the opportunity to go visit family or have family come to you, but this is always a good time of year to mend broken fences. Life's too short, man. Don't carry grudges. Heal. You'd be amazed at how much healing can be done in just a hug. Seriously, a hug. When you're hugging someone, you can just feel the energy. You can just feel both of you. Just think of plugging in your iPhone. The battery life, how it just increases. That's what happens when you give someone a hug. Your love tank fills up. So if you have too much love, just go hug people today. Just go to equal it out, man. Equal it out. Okay. Have a great Monday. Thanks for hanging out this morning. We'll have a brand new show tomorrow morning, 5:30 Pacific, right here in White Rock, British Columbia, from me. Uninsulated garage in White Rock. And that's 8:30 Eastern, 9:30 Atlantic, 10 o'clock in Newfoundland. I hope the weather is okay in your neck of the woods. If not, be safe. Get your winter tires on. Get from point A to point B safely. Because the people that are expecting you expect you. Yes? All right. 2 minutes after 6, I got to go to work. My name is Matthew. This is MattTv. Now and always from sea to sea.